Good afternoon. I was going to say morning, but man, I don't know. I've been moving since early this morning. Good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to have you listening and working these programs. It's a pleasure to have you aboard, and it's heartwarming to see the incredible stories that you're giving us and feedback and your journeys. What you've accomplished for yourselves, I think it's just tremendous. You guys are just a whole bunch of really great souls. I'm glad you're aboard. I'm glad we're a team. A lot of things to do out there. A lot of people, and all you guys helping your friends and everybody. Boy, I'm telling you, we're all real proud of you. And it's just neat to see more and more people getting well. And your questions are definitely getting on point and good. I haven't brought your other 5 questions yet. Thank you, Kevin, for those. Really appreciate that, man. But I will. It's just a weekend full. I'm still working on eyes. If you want me to do your eyes from the class, I'm knocking them out pretty good. Dr. Jensen never did most of his eyes. Most people don't know that. He farmed them out, and I don't farm mine out. So you all will get eyes done by me. This is Danny. Danny, this is for you. Guys, let me show you Danny's eyes here. Can you see that? Danny's dealing with RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis. I've never seen a rheumatoid arthritis. I have one RA case in 40 years that didn't have sulfur. You see Danny's sulfur, and a lot of times, Danny, they're 10 times worse than your sulfur. Most of our RA cases, their eyes are almost orange with sulfur. And they're breeding all the fungus, all the uric acids, just all the extra acids from all of that. And just the suppression of the lymph system from antibiotics. And it just sets you up for acidosis and all that implies. The use of antibiotics is insane, and yet they're getting, I'll tell you, they're going nuts over it. They're trying to limit everybody's freedom. You know, look at what the FDA is doing over the raw milk issue. Amazing the fear man has generated over these things called bacteriums and virals and things like this, and not a proper understanding of them. You know, you can't blame them. You got to look at the human species and the diets and the toxicity levels and what I like to refer to as the culturing medium. You know, you have to always consider the culturing medium and the fact that you are offering one up. But Danny, these are good eyes, good strong constitution, bro. Interstitial lymphatic constipation all around the gut wall, definitely malabsorption. See all that orange and white around the wall here, just immediately around that pupil? Good strong. See how these fibers are good and straight around the eye, guys? Hope you can see this. Anyway, you've got sulfur, iodine, and looks like another drug in there. At least. So it just shows that when you have drug deposits that hang around, the lymph is hanging around because the lymph should clean you. But with that said, your lymph system isn't that bad. I've seen so much worse all the time, so I'm real happy to see that. I'll put you up with a strong constitution except for the GI tract and your lymphatic system. That's how you're going to see your eyes coming. Those of you that have strong genes mostly are that way except for GI tract and lymphatics in that way. But it's a strong gene person, a lot of drug deposits scattered all through. You got one in the gallbladder, you've got one in the right testicle, you got one in the hip, you got it in the groin, you got one in the adrenal gland, prostate, upper neck. I mean, you got them all over. You just have to detoxify all of this out. So let's look at this. You got a little prolapsing here just around, right around here where your hepatic flexure turns and your transverse colon. You're ballooned right down in, or prolapsed right down in there. So you got some prolapsing. Not too bad spasticity, some spastic on the other side, but really not bad. I know I'm popping up your parathyroid, little minor parathyroid on the right side there. Looking at that, a little throat weakness. Got drug deposited up into the C-spine, upper T-spine, get a little inflammation going up there with some genetics, some minor genetics mid-back, and then you pick up a tad bit of lower back. Pick up a little bladder weakness going on there, Danny, and that picks up with your kidney weakness on the right side. With that said, the prostate has a lot of inflammation in it. Minor knee, minor groin, that sort of thing. Tad bit of pancreatic. Gallbladder being the one more concernful for me. Clean up the liver and gallbladder would be a good idea. Some minor weaknesses in the upper lobe, mid lobe, a little lymph node swelling in the lower lobe, if you will. Clean the bronchial trunks out, real important. Some genetics in the right ear here a little bit, not bad. I'm picking on you because really you got some good genes, bro. With that said, I'm coming over here with the cerebellum, a little ear, medulla, mastoid, so that has all the possibilities of equilibrium, dizzy type things, but you got the genes to pull that straight, get that out of there, clean that up. I'll say you've got a good body for RA. Really, most of your focus with your sulfurs around the gut, so that's you're just really malabsorbed there. Really have to clean up your GI tract. Use the GI broom. I know you're moving your bowels well, but try to get up there and try to use that one if you will. A little nodal swelling up here in the upper lobe of the right lung. With that said, a little bit of spleen. You could use the spleen formula down the road, maybe for a bottle or two, and clean the spleen out. It's hard to say which kidney is the weakest. You have both kidney weaknesses. Don't see any really nerve rings or anything, so that's really good there. Your adrenals only look like they're acute or subacute weak. Not bad at all. I'm telling you, better look here. Little rectal wall weakness, if you will, and then going back to the prostate just a little bit. Some inflammation in the bladder. So that's really about all I see. Some congestion in the throat. You know, you might end up with a sore throat here. Again, upper neck a little bit here, but you get really good genes. You should be able to knock this out the park, son. With those genes of yours, really dig in and move lymph. You're feeling worse than what your body is, I'm sure. You know, but to really get that lymph moving, I don't see any cholesterol plaquing yet. You got good genes, man. So dig on and clean those acids out. Keep working on those kidneys. That's the only thing I can see here. And a little pituitary, though. Take that pituitary right side. Left side looks good. So could control the right kidney in that way. Thanks, Danny, for your help. I wrote you up a protocol. Jennifer's got it. Now, this is Jerry. I'm Dr. Morris, listening to your YouTube video and reading your detox museum. Book's been so educational. Thanks. Well, I hope so, Jerry, because I really, I love all you guys, and we need to get all you guys healthy and then help others to get well. So whatever we can do together. Thanks. I have liver cancer, cirrhosis with Hep B, candidate for a liver transplant according to Stanford Hospital. What a Stanford Hospital, though. 2012. I refused chemo and operation. Thank you, Jerry. Smart guy. I can feel the inflammation on my abdomen. And, well, remember, the GI tract is the trunk. The liver's just a branch. So you're all backed up all through there. Whenever you see a cancer issue, know it's a systemic problem, not a local problem. You might have breast cancer, prostate cancer, liver cancer, doesn't matter. That's still not a local problem. That's what they don't get. This is a systemic fluid problem. This is a systemic fluid that filters the acids away from the cells and through the kidneys and through the lymph nodes, which are full of bacteria and immune cells. You know, when that isn't happening, then you're going to retain acids, and then you're going to see the inflammatory response. And trying to stop the inflammatory response isn't the answer. Let me see. Give me some good stuff. What's your liver enzymes doing? Alkaline phosphatase. Where are we at with that, man? So we can see that. Although the liver, in terms of any problems with it, whether cells are being damaged and it's called cancer or whatever, livers are real easy to clean up and regenerate, but you got to clean up your GI tract to do it. And get your kidneys filtering lymphatically. Let's see here. Liver went down. Let me see. I can feel the inflammation on my abdomen, and my liver went down since going 100% raw food. Absolutely. Only way to do it, man. You'll pull yourself right out of this. You don't need a liver transplant. Rebuild the one you got. Starting this week, June 4th, I'm taking your 12 to 14-week protocol. I went to get off my viral medication, which the side effects is acidosis. Yeah, you have to. You know what? You're exactly right on, Jerry. Good man. Keep it up. I will let you know my progress. Keep up the good... Oh, thank you, man. Keep up the good work, Jerry. And I just came out this weekend with 13 new formulas, and I redid our liver formula. And I thought I took it from being very good to crazy good. So it should really help you out real well as we move on. But the liver is not a difficult place to deal with, to be honest with you. Neither is the pancreas, really. So you'll be successful with that. Stay high fruit, berries, and melons. Get away from the greens for a while and really pull that liver clean. Start on that 12-week protocol or so and kick butt. You should be able to kick that out fairly easy, but let us know about your liver enzymes and stuff like that. And I can talk to you a little deeper about that. This is Lily Mae. I know people get kind of freaked out when you speak about your spiritual growth and experiences, but I think spirituality is way more important than nutrition. I'm going to second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth that one. And a lot of the spiritual giants that I know also that. The health is just part of the modus operandi of wellness of consciousness. And you're going to eat better to feel better in all your bodies. Absolutely. It's part of the process, but it isn't you again. This is all about, spirituality is about the you. Not about the bodies, not about anything else. It's really about getting to knowing yourself as consciousness, as awareness. And there is no definition to that. This is the hardest thing there is because it's totally opposite the mind. And we're raised with understanding through the mental faculties. The problem is we control the mental faculties or they control us. And basically our educational system has our mind controlling us. Well, that's in a society when you can control the minds of people, you pretty much control everything. And of course the government knows that well on all levels. So the control of the human consciousness has always been up for grabs. All the lies and the deceptions and the propagandas and the stuff like this. Amazing what man is willing to do for the Federal Reserve notes, which are basically nothing but paper. It's paper money that's actually debt money. So you're trying to pay your debts with debt money, and you can't legally do that. Do you think it is possible to involve spiritualities to such a point where what you eat doesn't affect your physical body? I definitely know that. I mean, I'll say that in that there's a balance to you and your bodies. And that's what I'm saying with all these purists and these people that want to raw. I know, I wrote that line, but now, James, sometimes, and we were talking about that earlier, sometimes you get so self-disciplined that you don't realize just the other day you weren't all raw. And now you're all raw judging others that are not all raw. And that's just not how it is. You can't judge those that are not raw because it wasn't long ago you weren't raw. So I'm trying to tell people, walk with balance and love and appreciate the fact that these poor people haven't woken up to the raw yet. And so this should be humbling, and then one goes and helps people wake up to the raw, not sit there and judge those. And that's what you see a lot of times, the judgment of others. And we just need to put that to the side because in the reality of it all, this body comes and goes like the wind blows. You are always here. So that's the part you have to get with. I'm with you, Lily Mae, but it's hard to explain that to others, because it's hard when you see me now, what I was 40 years ago. 40 years is a long time to make a big difference. Dr. Jensen was 75 years in the field. You imagine the hell he went through. Remember, yesterday was worse in terms of governments and states, and I mean, we were persecuted like you won't believe, much more than chiropractors ever were. They won their right. Think about that. They won their right. The AMA someday going to pay a big price for all of this, because I have to go right back to them. They're lobbying to the states, go back to that whole scenario. They're the ones. Nobody else has to blame. State legislatures, they're all brainwashed too. So much of our reality is created in the mind. A stagnant mind, a connected spirit can equal a stagnant body. Yes, you're right on, Lily Mae. I'll tell you totally there. You know what? When you're connecting to raw, you're connecting to energy, aren't we? We're increasing the level of magnetic energy we're bringing into the body. We're also bringing the chemistry with that, because things that are not destroyed in terms of their original forms are magnetically bonded to suit the species that food is meant to eat. So that all fits with the physiology and the digestive ability and everything else, the chewing, everything, the elimination, everything. Each food is designed for specific species. That's why I took time to go in my book on specific vertebrae, because it really is important that one understand what vertebrae, because outside of that you're into blood type crap, you're into all kinds of stuff like that. And I will say blood type crap. To me, that individual couldn't be so further from the truth. And you just don't see that in any other species. That deals with immunity. It doesn't deal with physiology. And I've said this before. I can take any blood type anywhere on this planet and rebuild their health with a fruit, berry, and melon and an herb program. I don't care who it is. I've had them every country there is on the planet. So, but these are sort of the things, you know, that we face here. But I'm with you, Lily Mae. The spirituality is by far your survival throughout, and I'll loosely say eternity, but it is your survival. Your awareness of yourself and how much you have of that is totally your joy, your survival, and your peace, that sort of thing. So I've always felt that's really the key, is connecting and being awakened from the higher viewpoint of who you are, and then using the mind, and then controlling the mind, and then you control the ego. If not, then the ego gets out of shape, and pretty soon you're saying and acting ways that you don't even really realize. Some of these guys probably don't realize the way they're acting. I didn't. I thought I was, hey, chip up for the chipper. You know, raw. Everybody should. Once you realize that, and I tell you raw's good, then you should be on raw. That's the kind of ego you can get into there, and I just learned otherwise. It took me down another road of humility and other things. So I maintain a high level of raw, and I suggest everybody do. But if you think everybody's going to be 100% fruit or 100% raw the rest of their lives, doubt it. But you can go in and out and play and have fun and work your consciousness through that. Get your kids raw. Keep working this whole raw thing, because as we move down this road, the same thing will happen over time. Dead foods will fall away. Meats will fall away. Everything will start falling away. So it's so important that we as a group become strong and balanced. And then society can accept you. If you're way out of balance, the durians of the world are not going. It's not going to be accepted by mainstream. You're too judgmental and too radical. And we want to be accepted and understood, but also respected for being one, God people, and truly God people that walks with love and humility and things. And we want to walk as healers. We want to show this, the art of true healing, and that it isn't a monstrous intellectual game. That's simple. Since having my tonsils, this is Brad, since having my tonsils removed as a kid, I am at much of a disadvantage in regards to the lymph system. That's a question mark. What can I do? Well, that's just it, Brad. I think the most important thing we can do is detox our system, get our adrenals, go back and fix why you lost the tonsils. In other words, go back and fix that why. And you fix that why, you're good. And then you stay, pretty high raw diet, high fruit, berries, and melons in your life, and you'll keep your lymph system moving and you won't notice a thing. But you have to go back. You have to fix your kidneys, your adrenals. You got to clean up your gut, lymphatically speaking, clean up your body, lymphatically speaking, and get yourself healthy, and then, Brad, you don't have to worry about it. Once you get your kidneys filtering and you maintain a good high diet and stay away from these high-protein diets, you should be okay. Many, many questions. Uh-oh. Okay, this is Colin. Let me see here. Many questions. First off, I never hear you talk about prune juice. Well, I'm not a fan of prune juice or cranberry juice, to tell you the truth. A little acidic on my side. I'm not so negative that I don't think you shouldn't drink it, but I never recommend cranberry juice. I'd recommend grape or any of the other ones over cranberry. A little on the acidic side. Same thing with prune. But you can have them. I wouldn't personally recommend that to be your main choice for juices. Not when you have so much more powerful juices, although thick prune juice is pretty strong. But still, when you get up into your grapes and your oranges and your lemons, and you get up into these, they're pretty strong as well. For the bowel, particularly the villi of the ileum, I wouldn't recommend those two for the villi. I have worked on some concoctions. I bet. Just kind of getting an idea on you. I just have this sense about you. That explains it. If you call them that. Well, you know what? That's what you do. You play with this. But I like a mixture of cranberry, prune, apple, pear, grapes, and a touch of carrot. Well, I think that sounds all right to me. Yeah. That's the whole fun of it. I mean, there's all kinds of neat flavors. People used to say, they look at the fruits and the berries, the melons and the salads, and they go, ugh, and it's like, no, that's where all your flavors truly are, not in all the dead foods and all the crap you got to put on them to make them taste good. I will say that cooked vegetables are probably a little addicting, but outside of that, side note, I noticed this last year when I went on a 70-day fruit fast. Boy, would I love to get everybody to do that. Fast at a bowl of fruit without lemon juice, still including watermelons, grapes, cherries, mangoes, papaya, etc., that I wasn't pulling anything out. Then with lemons included, with all of that, I had black stuff coming out. Now, you bring up a good point, and this is a good point here, and that is that even when you go to your fruits and your berries and your melons, you can see the differences in the astringent values within these, and you can see why I clamor so hard on the fruits, berries, and melons, because of the astringents. And then you can see of them, you pick up with the lemons, the oranges, and the grapefruit, because those foods with the most stringents are going to see the black stuff coming out, and by far the lemons are some of the strongest. So no, this is why we keep pushing these grape fast and lemon fast. But again, the average person is not always prone to take off on a 70-day juice fast. I mean, for some, that's like, whoa, you just took off my leg. You know what I'm saying? And this is the problem. So those of you that have the strength and the self-discipline, God bless. Hang on and took on, because that's what I did, tore it apart. If we can tear it apart and walk with balance, you really have grown spiritually. That's where it's at. And if I can help in any way, please let me do that. Even now, when I think I am clean, I know. I really heavy cleaning going on when including lemons. Well, I'm a big fan of all of that. That's how hard detoxification is. It's an interesting road, and you guys that are working it, hang in there. And I agree with this gentleman that sticking up with the lemons, we love these lemon juice fast, pretty strong. I love the grape fast too, a little more balance with that. But whatever you need to pull clean, absolutely, absolutely. My second question is, I noticed that with some people have guts, but lean, slender lower body, while there is the opposite effect for others. Lean upper body and then pear-shaped bottom. Well, they used to say the pear-shaped bottom was more the adrenals, but I tell you, when talking about the gynecomastia here, the bigger barrel chests, and then some men have actually breasts on them, that's all adrenal glands. So I don't know what to say. Everything's controlled by hormones and steroids in that respect. So the size of the body, I mean, this gets deep within those glands and the respective weaknesses within different cells, affecting different hormones and steroids, affecting different shapes and sizes of the body, hitting on the pituitary as well. With all this bowel and lymph and head area problems, now you're seeing the pituitary going down. Now you're seeing short, tall. You're seeing all kinds of things from the pituitary itself. So this is why this is a game of just getting well. You just head in and get these tissues healthy and well, detox the lymph system the best you can, that being prima facie, that being first, that being the most important, and then everything falls in line from there. Would an effective remedy for the lateral condition be to a formula of GI broom as opposed to stomach and bowels? And what about the formal in that question? No, I think really, you know, this is just about getting I think the glands are the big issues that you deal with when you say those things, and it's down to the wire of genetics, and so it's just going in and making these glands healthy. That's why I like the glandulars in today. 20 years from now, we might not, you know, everything will be changed hopefully and all of that, but on the glandular side of this, it'll enhance the whole gland. Therefore, you're not going to be just affecting certain cells over another one, which is, and you'll bring everything into balance. The weakness will work itself out. Third question, as I told you about the fruit fast, I still have yellow nails on both big toes. Well, you sound like you're loaded with oh, no toe staph anymore. Sounds like you got a lot of fungus, though. I've been exclusively raw since that time being. However, meat solely omitted, maybe some grains in between that time last year and some cooked food, potatoes, corn, etc. from that time being. Is the yellow nail still means the kidneys? I think it means fungus. Unless you have some liver enzyme problems and you have some bile problems or something. What am I trying to think of here? Bilirubin. Third question is told you about the, let's see. Also, since I brought it up, sounds like fungus though. Also, since I check your whites of your eyes too. Also, since I brought it up in the beginning, do lymphatic cleansing and bowel cleansing essentially go hand in hand? Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything must go hand in hand. The bowel and the kidney cleansing actually must take place first before you're going to get a totally effective systemic cleaning. You got to have the kidneys filtering and the gut cleaned up to get a good drain from sinuses and down. So yeah, those are where the two places. In health, it always has been the gut. But for me, it's add those kidneys because they're the ones that are at the crux of the biggest problem. So add those two, the eliminative organs, basically. Those organs that are responsible for the removal of waste, whether they're digestive or cellular, out of the human body. Not a liver, not a transportation factory, not anything that's closed house, things that filter out of the body. This will have a residual kick all the way back in the body, affecting spleens and things that clean the blood and clean the lymph toward, absolutely. Also, since I thought it up in the beginning, let me see here, let me see, reading a lot of Dr. Jensen and Dr. John Ray Christopher, that you start at the bowel and the kidneys and the adrenals. They weren't aware of these things, but we are now. So definitely, we're the new kids on the block, basically. Kidneys, adrenals, bowels, key factor in every single case you have. GI tract, kidneys, adrenals. If you never worked on anything but those, you'd have great successes because from those tissues resonate every other part of the body. Well, I see synchronicity with cleaning the lymph and that helping out the bowel, astringent fruits, easier digestion, assimilation, utilization, elimination. You got it, bro. Does that sort of eliminate the need for enemas? Oh, yeah, I don't do enemas. I think enemas, they're okay. No offense with the colon therapists out there, but you can overdo those sort of things, you know. I just don't. There's only so much you can get done with water washing and stuff like that. The herbs in the diet really make a thorough cleaning all the way through. If you want to clean the colon, clean every once in a while with a colonic, okay. But I don't think you have to sit there and give yourself enemas. Now, if you have colorectal cancer, you got something worse, we can go up that side, absolutely. You can't eat or anything by mouth, we can go up that end, although that's the last end I want to go up. And since we're on the subject of colonics, I know you mentioned clays before the effect. Well, I mean, in Europe, they use clays for colonics, so to speak, you know. Got to be real careful with clays a little bit. You don't want impactions and things. Very inorganic, very inert kind of stuff. What is more effective to intestinal consumption then, or externally for maximum effects? For instance, a clay enema. No, I wouldn't. I have in the GI broom, I only have 2% bentonite and 2% charcoal to show you what I have in there, which isn't much, because this stuff swells and binds, and you do not want to end up impacted going to the hospital. This is some of the things you have to be cautionary about. Clay with water to make it liquid versus a clay such as bentonite in a drink. Well, I don't think I would insert any clays up that way. You do run the risk to impact yourself down there. Mostly water's absorbed in the lower part of the colon anyway. And that's where stool is, you know, becoming more firm. So I'd be real careful. Thanks, Zita. Colin Zita. This is Shane. Will you please explain the pros and cons of your dry herb capsules versus your herbal tinctures? Is anything lost when making them into a tincture? Which one is better overall? I'm referring to the formulas that come in both forms. Well, that's a very good question. Thank you, dear one. Thank you, Shane. Well, I used to think that the tinctures would be the strongest. So I've always been a fan of as close a ratio with the herbs as I could get with the first distillation and still made some semblance of power in herbs. I'm not quite, I like homeopathy. That's great for allopathic physicians and they won't hurt people like that. And homeopaths are great symptom treaters. I think this world has a huge place for homeopathy. With that said, though, I also don't like the medi-herb consciousness of one-to-one concentrate where you've got a little bitty ounce bottle and it's only a couple of drops and you've had to do 2 distillation types or more. So 1 to 4 is about as packed as you're going to get when you make a good menstruum. And that's herb to grain alcohol and distilled water, because you've got your oil soyables to pull out of that herb and you got your water soyables. So you're not going to pull good oil soyables with vinegar or glycerin. That's the problem. So you lose a lot of the most active principles or more oil soyables. So that's problematic with that. And so that's why the alcohol does take it to a cell much better than glycerin or vinegar would. Plus, remember I said you get 98% of the herb versus 60% of the herb. Big difference in that way as well. However, I'll give you an example. Lymph node 2 tincture, lymph node 2 capsules. Lymph node 2 capsules ended up being way too strong. Big deal. We thought capsules were weaker. And then people were calling projectile vomiting. It's like, oh, wow. So we've come to realize that is a butt-kicking formula. You want to do maybe 1 twice a day or 1 3 times a day at most. Because bloodroot's a butt-kicking herb. It'll pull a tumor right out of your body, the main ingredient in black sap. But with that said, I think our capsules are much stronger, believe it or not, than the tinctures. Although we've only used tinctures most of our lives and just seen incredible results, well, we're picking up more capsules. So we're offering both. I like the tinctures because it's all in one and down. I don't like to take a lot of capsules, even though these are veggie caps. It's starch. So maybe not even good for diabetics or something, but this is starch. But again, when you're trying to find mediums to disperse the herbs in, you've just got a society you have to pick from. So I like the capsules better, but there's times where I like the liquids. So I balance that out. I use more capsules when I want work done in the colon and liver and pancreas, and I use liquids when I want to go out and into the body deeper. Although I'm trying to balance between the two. So if you balance, it's like you're going to see your protocols coming with one stomach and with one lymphatic capsule and one lymphatic liquid. And if you have 2 lymphatic liquids, you know I'm putting the pedal down to the metal. And that's it. Because we don't know. Richard Schultz used to say 45 drops of a tincture at our level was all you would need. Now, most herb books, when you read them, is you only take 3 drops, 4 drops of something. Well, that kind of thinking is, and of course in Europe we talk in wine glassfuls. So if you're taking teas, you want 1 wine glassful, which here would be a cup. You have these. It depends what country you're in, and that sort of thing. But I will say that I do like the capsules. I think they're really butt kickers. But use the capsules to clean up the gut. Liquids to me are not near as effective at cleaning up bowel tissue as the capsules would be. And balance that out and you'll be good. But ours was 1 to 4 concentrate. I distill for almost 30 days. We try to do lunar work, but again, when you're dealing in big companies, you do the best that they can do with that. I have suggested that they try to get some green bottles, be unique, because I've always wanted green bottles instead of amber bottles, because it'll let the sun move through that full spectrum lighting through the green bottle. You'll power up those herbs a lot more than they are already. So again, that would be something nice for the future, but you got to buy them in 100,000 lots. Everything costs money. Good morning, D.R. Morris, and all of the crew. Thank you, my dear. This is Fabrice. We are absolutely loving your... Oh, thanks so much. Thank you, guys. Appreciate viewing the channel there. We love you guys, too. Let me tell you. I like a couple of questions here. I'm currently on your detox kit. Wow, what a great little cocktail. That's kind of what I'm saying. You get a little shot. That's why I like to put them all in there now, shoot them down. Now think of this. Most of you that are on the herbs, when I'm looking at a body, I'm going into the kidneys, I'm going into the adrenals, so I'm going into the gut bowels, I'm going in, so I'm keeping the fungus down. So generally when you look at it, you're on about 8 to 10 bottles of stuff, just some of the areas that I'm going after nowadays. And if you'll notice, as you head down this program, you start getting less and less. Matter of fact, your last month starts to come way down, because I'm really going gangbusters at first, but I'm coming down off as we go. Because if I don't need a formula, I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to kick it off, and we're going to keep going down. Because I'm a true believer of let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. With that said, though, these herbs are so good. I'm telling you, when you're away from them, it's like, oh, they really are incredible food sources, too. Don't forget this. These are incredible nutritional sources of food, too. And on the second day of taking it, I had a big surprise with turtle season happens. I got rid of a lot of gallbladder stones. Pretty good, huh? That's pretty neat, and I thought that it was pretty significant in terms of detoxifying my body. It really is. That's why you don't always need to spasm the liver to pop them all out. On a good detox program, all your stones are going to loosen up and come out anyway. But I gave birth to a few little turtles, did we? I am now in my 3rd week. I play the game with fruits all day and salad at night, just feeling amazing. Isn't that neat? That's just such a good diet program, because you can detox with it and then you still get your night emotions in, and I think that runs good. I really do, for most people. If you ever want to dig deeper, just live off the salad and go all fruit. Question 1, are these stones a natural thing that we need, or just some trapped waste? Stones, yeah, whatever you see your body kicking out, say goodbye and don't come back. Yes, my girlfriend is wondering if you could address her opinion regarding unbalanced hormones for females. She has been on the pill for 6 years but stopped 4 years ago. She has been working over 3 years with a naturopath using herbal tonics. She is really healthy, no questions. However, still got some testosterone level at a bit high and estrogen a bit low. What could you suggest? Well, if your estrogen is low, take some black cohosh. I think that's going to be the best remedy for that. You can take the female reproductive formula to strengthen up the female tissues like the uterus and the ovaries, but it is a progesterone formula. If you're running low in estrogen, which will give you more vaginal dryness and stuff like that, then that's the adrenal glands. You can take black cohosh to inspire that, but you might specifically want to work on your pituitary 1 and your adrenal number 2, because those are the 2 places you're going to see the most effective toward testosterone and estrogen levels, but your adrenals are the most important. So you just want to make them healthy, just keep making them healthy, and they'll come into balance one day between the 2. The fact that you are on birth control pill does make testosterone out-trump estrogen, because you start losing estrogen production with doing that. By the way, any of you guys know herbs for natural birth control, please write it in. I've got my formula almost made. Trouble is finding someone to test it. But I want an herbal formula for birth control. I've wanted this for years. I'm pushed now. I've got 13 new formulas. We got some good kidney formulas. Well, you guys are going to love this. Some of you have turned me on to different things, and I've researched them, and so we're going to have some good stuff coming there. And it's all for the sake of getting the lymph opened up and getting people detoxed. So I would work that way. The fact that was on estrogen for a long time slammed the adrenals, so it's just bringing those glands into a state of balance and health. And if you have some genetics there, you're just going to have to stay raw and let all that rewind itself and work that self, because you can tonic yourself to death, but really just keep going after your health issues. I'd bring some black cohosh in on the picture. That'll bring your estrogen levels up. At the same time, make sure your kidneys are filtering and your adrenals are at least halfway up. Your blood pressure is working its way toward 120. That sort of thing, because that's the adrenals neurotransmitter. That's the medulla. That's the neurotransmitters. But you could assume that the cortex is coming along with that. But there's another assumption. But you keep working on that. Keep working on the health of each cell. I tell you this, I've got a new formula, and it's a major cell rejuvenator. It's a cellular proliferator. It's got the Suma, the FOT, the American Woods Ginseng, which is extremely powerful. I put what I consider the super herbs and a couple of the foods like the kelp and the alfalfa juice. I put together a major cellular proliferator. So we'll have that out. Something like that would probably be good to go after strengthening the cells, especially if you know your system's detoxed. Tell your friend to get a picture of her eye and see how much that naturopath is cleaning her out. And I love you so much. Thank you so much. Fab and Fee. I like that. Fab and V. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much. You keep working on your health issues. Appreciate the questions. Sorry if I can't get to all your questions. I'm going down to 3 days. I've hired been training him for a while. Big FEMA man. Tired of the FEMA stuff. But I need time to do more of this and help you with this. And my publisher is republishing the book. He wants me to write another one. Now, would you write another book if your publisher only gave you $1 a book? I only get $1 a book. $1 a book. And it's amazing. And they don't care either. They get, an average company. This company is a spiritual company, been around for years, Home Press. They write all the spiritual books like the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance and stuff like that, all the Zen books and stuff. Good, and health books, good company. But they publish maybe 4 or 5, 6 books a year. That's all. But they have to be the right books, for this publisher to publish them. And he just pretty much said, accept it or go. So I pretty much said, well, okay. but it's still not much. What can I do to improve my eyesight? Get rid of my asthma? What can I drink to take to get energy to exercise? All right, Amy, I'll tell you, let's go back to the first question. What can I do to improve my eyesight? Buy a pair of readers. Number two, no, just kidding. Well, you got an eye wash. Wash your eyes out in the morning and in the evening. We have a little eye cups. It's good. You're going to get a lot of mucus at first. It could even shut your eyes when you wake up, just full of mucus. It'll get your lymph and your blood moving in your eyes. There, we've got a visioplex that has raw eye tissue, believe it or not, and a lot of nutrients for the eyes. But to be honest with you, focus on the causative factor. Causative factor of the loss of function of cells, no matter whether they're vision cells, whatever cells they're involved in, retina cells, optic nerve cells, it doesn't matter. No matter what cells you're talking about, they still are fed with blood and cleaned with lymph. So you can always go back to that little low lymph system and clean it up. And in that process, everything restores itself. How interesting. You can use herbs. Bilberry is one of my favorites. But use, herbs to get that. Eye wash has bilberry. You can also take our eye wash internally or find something similar on the market. Bilberry being really good for that. But anytime you do upper circulation, too, that's moving blood more aggressively through the eyes and nervous system of the brain and stuff. Moving lymph, vital. And moving lymph up in the head is cleaning up the gut here. Just all vital stuff here. Getting rid of my asthma. Asthma has a neurological component. I'm just going to go through this kind of fast because there's a couple of eyes I want to get here, too. But asthma is a neurological component to it, so clean your lymph system, get your lungs cleaned up. We have lungs 2, 3 lung tea, and strengthen your nervous system. You can use, if it was me, the brain and nerve number 2, but you've got to fix your adrenal glands. That's your connection to the lungs, and that's the connection to the beginning of COPD, which asthma is the beginning of COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Stupid name and has no relationship or understanding of the relationship neurologically, and that's a big one. Asthma is always neurological. Remember how it deals with the anxieties and the stomach and the solar plexus. What can I drink to take to get energy to exercise? Relax, don't do exercise until you are filtering well, and then exercise. Get your adrenals up. That's your energy gland. That's your neural gland that runs the muscles. That's everything. So get your adrenals up, and then that gets the kidneys up, and then the lymph system starts moving. Then you fix the eyes, and everything goes good there, dear one. Thanks for the questions, Amy. Keep on honking down that road, dear one. But strengthen your nervous system and adrenals. Always the case. Always the case. This is Cynthia. I'm a French young naturopath woman. Like you already, dear. So I'm sorry for my approximating verbalage. Verbalage. There's a lot higher forms of communication, Miss French. Young naturopathic woman, you. I just read your book, The Miracle Detox Foods, which I love. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm humbled. However, I just have one question. I learned in naturopathy school that when you put someone on detox, you have to divert the toxins. For example, if someone has some renal failure, I will divert the toxins on the skins to relieve the kidneys because they're overworked. Well, let me go on here and finish that. But in your books, you suggest herbs to each body system. But if I give some couchgrass root or dandelion leaf to someone who has some kidney weakness, this is not going to tire the kidney gallbladder and the person too? No way. No way on this earth. You were taught wrong, sweetheart. No way. What, by giving the couch grass, dandelion, oat straw, juniper berry, herb robber, pepipsawa, wait till you see my new formulas coming. You're gonna love them for the kidneys. But with that said, these herbs empower the kidneys. And don't forget who powers up the kidneys but the adrenal glands. No, no, no. These cells aren't tired. That's more medical thinking. One medical doctor told a client of mine, this steroid shot she refused to take that he wanted to give her, it'll just make the adrenal glands sleep for a little while. And when they wake up, they'll be stronger. What? I mean, I don't know where they get some of this. Cells, vital. So get the cells healthy. Push through those kidneys. Wake them up. They're sleeping now because they're so in pain. So clean those kidneys out, dear one. Never be afraid to pull straight ahead and ongoing. Don't waste any time. Use kidney formulas. They'll increase kidney function. The kidneys will look back and say, I love you. Thank you so much. You finally are helping me. And get those adrenals up to turn on the kidneys and move lymph, because there's no way you're going to push toxins on. If you burden the skin too much, all your patients are going to break out with huge welts and everything else. You're going to have skin problems out the butt, and then and painful and itching, and not going to be fun. I've done everything to avoid that as much as possible, because this is a big issue we used to deal with, not opening up the kidney channel and burdening the skin. That's too much. We try to pull everything off the skin, because a lot of people suddenly just break out head to toe. And if you look at all the YouTubers, a lot of them have the acne, psoriasis, and stuff. You don't want to burden the skin anymore, sweetheart. You get those kidneys woken up, and they'll get and do it. Love to meet you someday, Cynthia. Thanks so much. Do not be afraid to open that door aggressively and honk on. The kidneys will love you for it. I never mess around like that anymore. This is vertical sleep. I sleep vertically a lot of times. Well, when I wake up, I realize I was vertical. How long do you estimate it will take to find out if asparagus extract works for the... I don't know. I first have to get the formulas in, and we have to find a good organic asparagus extract or root extract, and get it in here and try it. So we're going to be over the next 6 months looking at people, and you're listening to your feedbacks and everything else, because I don't know. I put it in my new formulas just as a tester. I've added to the GI Broom now, so not this batch, but the next batch, I changed it up a little bit too, to empower up the nutritive and the cleansing side of it. So I did put a lot of asparagus root in there just to see if it works. It's already good medicinally for all kinds of things, but if it pulls sulfur, boy, we'll find out, because I can tell you 75% of you all have sulfur, and 75% of my clients that never heard of YouTube have sulfur. So when we'll see as we all do it. And any of you guys, keep your eyes open, because once we find the remedy for sulfur, that'll be amazing. That'll be amazing, because you'll see all these eyes I'm showing you, and we got a lot of sulfur out there. Hey, Dr. Morse, I have been suffering with my name, but a form of dermatitis since I was 11, and I'm 18 now. It has caused me extreme dandruff, I bet, and a lot of inflammation. And I know, I feel for you, Raymond. We can't go on this way. I'm sorry, Raymond, but we just can't go on this way. All right. What steps can take to begin to get rid of this skin problem as quickly as possible? Things are wrong. All right, Raymond Jones, we got to get rid of this problem. All right, so 2 things: GI tract, kidneys, same stuff. GI tract and kidneys. Remember, the body's very, as you guys are starting to see, you get familiar with the words, and I'm going to give you some A&P as we move along here. I just need time. That's why I'm going down to 3 days. I just need time to put this together. I have no time. But I'm making time, because I think this is a good channel for education. I'm proud of you guys, and I just find that we can no longer be unaware as humans. Got to start grabbing a hold of that. So, Raymond, you got to clean up your GI tract. So that's stomach and bowels, lymphatic capsules, GI brooms. I definitely go after my kidneys and my adrenal glands, and start moving lymph. This is all lymph. The dandruff is lymph oozing out your skin. Well, the problem with this is the hard drive's in there. Basically, the computer that controls everything's in there. So you want to get that off the head and out of the head, and off the face and everything as soon as possible, Raymond. So you just really honk on. Detox, go into the fruit, berries, and melons. No matter what it does to your face, clear it up. dunk your head in salt water if you have to once in a while just to give you some relief. But you want to clear that up, my man. Lymph it. You can use the skin formula, but you don't want to pull so much out your skin. The skin is already wearing the burden, and this is going back to the French naturopath. Most people's skin already is wearing the burden to the point that subcutaneously most people are impacted. Well, when you start impacting subcutaneously, you start impacting lymph nodes. So there's a little problem we have with doing this. So it's the skin that we need to open up everything. And even that, you know, we have a huge system. We're finally opening up the doors to spring clean, and now we're all the messes. It has to come out. So it's a bit of a trip, but you've got to clean up this GI tract to get this head cleaned up. Just pre-warn you on that one. You can't overlook that. I want to go to these eyes here. Beautiful eyes, my God. This has to be a young woman. I mean, that tissue, that skin is pretty nice. Let me see here. This is Veronica. I am grateful for your channel. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. Shortly after I came across your channel and started watching your videos, I had a dream you came to help me heal. Isn't that cool? I love that. The next day I was watching a video and you said that you will sometimes come into your dreams. I do. I love you, dear. Good job. That's what I'm saying about all of you are so much more than you realize. And it's time we started realizing more of who we really are, isn't it? It sure is. That's the fun thing. Not all the people go fight some other channel. We're all moving down the road to Wellville and Godville. And my particular, I've been through the Wellville station and I'm heading on up to Godville. Been up there a few times. Oh, okay. Now, this is the right eye. Let me show you this. Has to be a young woman. Beautiful skin, everything else. Look at this. Can you see this? See that pretty blue eye? Beautiful blue eyes. Can you see that? Let's see how we're doing. Oh, see how close I can get this. This is the left eye. And if the left eye is 6 o'clock going straight down, that's the knee. So she's got a left knee, and she looks like a young person. Maybe not, but there's a knee going on there. There is the left hip. Now, this is genetics. When it's this deep, it's genetics. Now, do you see all this thick white stuff here? This is the lymph system, all this thick. This is the sinus cavity up on top here. A little growth over the eye here. Now, here's your kidney and adrenals. So pretty dark. It stands out pretty good here. Hip, knee, and kidney and adrenals. I'm going around up here. This is probably your bladder. This one right here, bladder. Then your lower back, and you get up to mid back here. Here's your skin. This ring around here. This is a skin ring. And pretty skin though, but this is the skin ring. You got a little sulfur around the bowel there. You see a little orange right around the bowel there. Good strong genes though. Good strong genes are determined by these little fibers. If you look at an eye like a wagon wheel, the pupil is the hub, and that's what you see down to the retina too. Then you have all these, some people refer them as the rods and cones. They're under there though. But these whole fibrous issues. This huge pattern here, it looks like female and bladder. Both vaginal, bladder, big weakness it takes in those areas. The kidney's better on this side. It could be the kidney way up there. But that again, it's possible. Let me look here. I want to show you this. Now, you notice with this one that the distance between this pupil and the corner of the edge of the eye is closer than this. See how much further? So you have to, when you're reading an eye, take that in consideration that you're over here. This would make this the kidney area, and that's a real weak kidney. If that's the kidney, it could also be the vaginal bladder, but I don't think so. I think this is the kidney when you realize this difference here. This would be the lower back. This would be, each one of these little spots here would be the back, the right side of the back. A little sulfur here, this bronchial trunk here, and this is right breast. So you have to be careful here. If I can get this up to you here, right breast area and this area here. But these are good strong genes here. Good strong genes. So basically, we see kidneys, we see adrenals, you see a weak skin. We need to move the lymph system. But this is a good strong eye, definitely in the kidney. But you see, when you see enough of these eyes, it keeps coming up. Kidneys, adrenals, lymph, keeps coming up to you. That's the beauty of understanding. And before this is done, you guys will all know how to read the iris. I'll make sure of that. Real simple, no big deal. Nothing to get, you can't do type thing. You can all do all of this. All of you have the ability to know and do all of this. And I'll make sure that those of you that want will. This is my kitchen. Not really. It's somebody else's. But I'll take those watermelons. Whoa. Can I just touch them? Dang. Let's see what all you got here. Hi, Dr. Morris. Love your vids. I've learned a lot. Thanks. You just turned 57 years old. Go. You're in your second half now. Honk it on. I was cheese and chocolate addict in the past 50 years, so you're full of fungus. Sad diet for the last 30 years. It's just the way of the world, and we're all waking up. So congratulations. Thank you. And I'm glad I woke up too. I mean, we're all waking up, and there's no sense for some of those to just quit judging others and go on and realize it's nice that we're all waking up at different levels. Thanks to you, I have switched to fruits and veggies now. I ordered the Hill Off Tea. Good deal. Parasite capsules. I would with all the chocolate and cheese stuff. Definitely fungal food. Woohoo! And my memory is playing hide and seek at times, upper circ and brain and nerve. So brain and nerve tinctures, absolutely use the upper circ. I am 50 to 75% roughly. Perfect. I'd go up above 50 because at 50 it's okay. But you want to get up to 75, 80. Then now you're going to feel some differences. I like that better. That's where I'm at, 75, 80% raw. That's where you want to be up as much as you can. And then of that, I'm about 75% fruit. But I don't see any filtering at all. Well, you got to go do 2 kidney formulas, hit your adrenals with a glandular or adrenal formula if your blood pressure is not high, and keep working with moving your lymph out of there. And when you see you'll see it coming. I don't know why some people filter over others quicker, other than glandular, other than the steroids, neurotransmitters, that sort of thing. Can even be pituitary. My breakfast and lunch is always fresh fruits and juicing. Right on. However, in the evening, you still eat there. That's okay. Have some steamed veggies and brown rice, or once in a while, the Indian in me. Now, this is someone I can wrap myself around. It got some Indian blood. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, spicy hot green peppers, garlic ginger once a week. We'll make something. Yeah, that's what you do, an eggplant thing, a potato curry. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't expect anybody to, there's the perfectionist, there's not. Look at all the pea jars you got. No, you got a good bill of fare here. You're doing just great. You're doing just great. Kick up the fruits, berries, and melons all day long, just like you're doing. Let your night be your night, your weekend be your Indian food, and honk on. When you feel like if you need to dig deeper and you're not getting enough sediment, just for a couple of months, drop off the veggies. Drop off the veggies and hit the fruit even harder and see if you can't pull more. And this is Ricky, R-I-K-K-I. I'll take those watermelon. Just look at this. Look at the color difference. Just go up to your meat counter in your grocery store and then walk over and take a big whiff And then go over to your produce section, take a beautiful look at all the colors and take a whiff. If you still want to go back to your meat section, go ahead. Let me see. Firstly, I just want to say I love your videos and the work you're doing. Well, thank you so much. Who am I talking to here? This is Jared. Hi, Jared. Many thanks to you, my friend, for coming aboard here. I would like to one day be a doctor like yourself. Well, I'm grooming all of you for that, to be honest with you. All those that want, I'm grooming you on. Matter of fact, you'll be better than I am. You know, that's what I say. You're supposed to be better than we are. That's the whole idea of giving you all the knowledge we have, and then you take that knowledge, what works, does, what doesn't, and take it and expand it even more. That's how we perfect things. That's how we learn more about herbs. That's how we do things. We expect the younger people to take it and do. So, no, I really want you to. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Your thoughts here. And welcome to us. A little about myself. I found your channel on YouTube through that Durian Rider guy. I'm glad I did. You see, 3 years ago, my dad passed away from lymphatic lymphoma cancer. He had only 44. This is exactly why I do these things. I don't care what it costs me. I don't care if I end up in the woods living in a tent. I just, you know, when you have a young man, 44 years old, dying from a lymphoma that can be cured, it just makes you throw up. You know, I just have had enough of this. Something else the other day, we were watching somebody just die of chemo and stuff, and it's always just the stories come in here, they're pouring in here of that. So, obviously, I've had a hard past 3 years dealing with it. I bet you have. Your dad was young, man. Well, just remember this. Learn how to body travel and go a-visiting. That's what I'll tell you. Learn how to leave your body at will and go a-visiting. All right? Obviously, but I'm happy to say I found myself again and have taken a huge interest in nutrition and naturopathic medicine. Good. I have been reading subject-related books for around a year now, as well as watching your YouTube channel for 2 weeks. It has motivated me to become a healer. Yeah! Another good healer on the planet. Go for it, man. We're backing all of you guys. We want all of you guys to be the world's best healers. I'm telling you. I'm open to learn. Let me tell you, sometimes I might get in my ways a little bit, but I've made it a rule of my life never to get fuddy-duddy where I can't grow and expand. I love growing. I love working with clients. They teach you everything. There's nothing you're going to learn in these books. You already know what you need to know. It's all clinicals for here on out. That's the thing is, there's part of the mind where the but has to end. You have to stop the buts, because you've already researched as far as science can take you. It was too long for them to catch up, and now they're walking in fields of dreams. So there's just no, it's all out of balance. So you've got all you can get basically out of books. Now you have to start working with people and get, what is it to work with people and that sort of thing. We'll have some live. Whenever we get people that are willing, let me tell you, we'll film it. Hopefully in the years to come I can follow your footsteps. Well, it sounds like you're doing it already, my friend. Mothers through diseases like I did, especially when some of them can be prevented. They all can be dealt with. I mean, the problem is degrees. There isn't anything that your body can't regenerate. I mean, you might have some of these extreme genetic mutations. But I'd love to have those cases. Wouldn't you guys? Just love to work on some of these cases. I'd love to work on people in comas. I just got a whole list of people I'd love to work on and love the opportunity to do that. I'd love a whole channel of us to have an opportunity to work on it, because what can we show the world? We can already show the world. People's mouths hang open all the time around here, and they can't believe the level that we're working. But we need to show the world that. I'm aware that you once studied in Sussex, England. I live in the UK myself. Yeah, I went to Brantridge. That was, what was his name? Well, he had a good handle on naturopathy. Back then, naturopathy was high in radionics and everything like that, and this guy was too. Cohen. Someone said it's closed up and not there anymore. I don't know, you know. I know that he put up a pretty good school, and he had 4 theses, and 4 theses is a lot of work. Most schools offer only one, ask for 1 thesis. He wanted 4, and that was a lot of work. I had 2 ladies typing for a half a year. I live in the UK. Okay, I'm looking at enrolling on a nutritional dietetics 4-year degree. Upon completion, I am to go on and study a postgraduate integrated PhD in dietetics. Thing is, you're going to learn a lot of bull crap, and a lot of crap that isn't true. I'd take my herbal degree. Learning about herbs is going to be where it's at in the future, because even if the governments try to block the herbs, that's all man has left. So there will be wars on that probably, but that's all man has left to get well. The future isn't medicine. The future isn't allopathy. Not even close. The future is 3 letters, G-O-D. Whatever form you wish to look that into, I don't mean be religious in any way, but if I can replace those 3 letters with Y-O-U, my aim in life is now to heal sick patients and prevent cancers, heart disease, and other health issues. I tell you what, if you'll lose the concept of diseases and understand the simplicity of fluids, pHs, and that sort of thing, you'll get it a lot better. You'll get it better if you take a little biochemistry and then realize where the point comes, where theories come in, you know, and just get a little basis there. Botany, plants, herbs, that's where it's at. Naturopathic medicine, not so much sure that's where it's at. It would be true if they didn't get so far off in isolates, because there's coming a world where they're going to control isolates. Well, that could be an argument by many, but the herbs are God-given. That's going to be a bigger fight. I am also aware, once a doctor, there are many opportunities to keep learning and take further degrees. Oh, you can keep learning all you want. Like I said, that's how I used to be. I've got, what out there, 7, 8 degrees, but I can tell you that I've got 5 more, 6 more sitting around here I haven't completed, or distance learning degrees that I think are top-notch. I wanted to finish Mary Gladstar's course. I wanted to finish the PhD course offered by the natural hygienic people. That, by far, is one of the best degrees I've seen. I've been reading through the books. The thing is, the prints are so small, but to get that much knowledge packed in a coursework, but it's so small, it's hard for me to read. And but it's loaded with chemistry and all the good stuff. And there's dissertations by Fries and all the good guys. Your advice, whether this is a great PhD to start out with, a foundation to build on. The problem is, if you spend too many years trying to gain information that's mostly wrong, then it's wasting your time, and you're going to feel that when it's over. I would think more relative, things that are more relative to true naturopathy and what's really going on here. So that would be botanicals, and diets are okay, but you're not going to learn this level, I don't think, unless you get into a naturopathic school or something that teaches raw foods and stuff. And even a lot of the naturopathic schools don't teach raw foods. I mean, I didn't learn all raw foods in Brant Ridge. I was a raw foodist already. That I learned probably from the natural hygienic people. I know maybe even Arnold Ehret was one of the first books I read. Arnold Ehret could have been. I know Brant's Grape Cure was one of the first ones too. So I wouldn't spend a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time on the planet the way I see things coming. And so if I was you, I would spend that relative to what I need and growth. And that's how I like education. You'll have plenty of people and clients to work with because the whole world is sick. So spending your time getting relative information. People like degrees, though, but sometimes the doctor name is a curse. So I would head off and get my botanicals, learn about them, and get savvy with that. You already know nutrition. get as much as you can. Take what you can use out of that which is wrong or that which is propaganda. Just study all the old greats. There's so many great books of the old greats that tore it apart like that. See, the new kids on the block, they don't tear it apart as much. These old guys, they were chemists and stuff. They have, I mean, I have so many charts of all the chemistries of all the foods and stuff. It's like, but if you pack that in there, it's going to affect your spirituality. And that's the thing. If you pack the mind full, you'll be empty. But if you fill yourself full, then your mind can learn and it can be used as a proper tool and not be the foundation of all the knowledge you think you'll need, because there'll always be something else and there'll always be something different, and it just goes that way. And then you have the chance of getting off point and then lose your ability to help others. So focus is better, and enjoying your next years. Going to a school where you're learning a lot of misinformation is not what I call. But it's up to you. You're going to have fun, whatever. You know, just keep in mind when you're learning propaganda, sift through what's good and bad. Thank you ever so much for your time. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you so much. And I'm going to have to pull off of here. Aloha from OAHU Drive. How do you pronounce that there? Carlos. Hey, man. I want to thank you for keeping my educated on your... Thank you, man. Well, thanks for you getting educated. I mean, you guys are putting in the effort. I am too, and that makes us bonded. We're friends, and we're a team. So I like to think in forms of that. More powerful is a team, and learning and growing and helping others. Yeah, absolutely. Making those herbal tinctures. Thank you. I really enjoy watching your videos, and I am looking to work on hopefully getting rid of my ADD. Yeah, keep working with the upper circ, brain, and nerve. But remember, adrenals, and clean up the gut in case you have stomach issues affecting the autonomic, the sympathetic. Again, so cleaning up the bowels, cleaning up the adrenals, getting those adrenals up, neurotransmitters up, myelin sheaths up, blah, 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 blah. Brain and nerve, get the central nervous system up, and you have got to get any neurotoxins you got out of you, whether they're from vaccines or whatever, and bring your nervous system up, and you will get out of this. It comes to concentration, socializing, oh yeah, I know all of that. Sleepless nights and stuff, I'll tell you this, if you're up in the CNS, hit the pineal gland. The only thing I know to hit the pineal gland with berries or with the glandulars. But again, this is all working with the nervous systems, getting the adrenals up. I can tell you, strengthen, clean and strengthen, clean and strengthen, clean and strengthen. The two words that mean everything to wellness. Clean and strengthen, clean and strengthen. And also in spirituality as well, Cleaning means get rid of thoughts, get rid of emotions, live in the now, strengthen, surrender. 1 and 2 along with upper, yeah, definitely. Gets 1 and 2 along with upper and lower circulation. Well, upper for sure, and definitely you want the brain and nerve. Definitely you want the new brain and nerve formula. It's just part of that whole thing. Also, Doc, my mom has a cat who has suffered from a fungus called aspergillus, and because of this, she has an open wound in one of her frontal limbs with pus coming out. You see all that pus coming out of that wound? That's that cat's lymph system. Cat being predominantly carnivores have a gnarly way to go. I kind of feel for their karma. But you're going to have to use some herbs to clean her lymph system up and her kidneys. So just do the same thing. Get a little kidney and lymphatic 1, kidney 1, lymphatic 1. Say 6 drops, maybe 3 times a day, at the most 6 drops, maybe even three drops maybe to start with, twice or 3 times a day. Start detoxifying your cat, and it'll clean that lymph out, and that pus, well, then it'll heal. Can't heal because her lymph system's too bad. And I love you, Carlos. Thank you, my friend. Let me know about your mom's cat. See if we can't get that cat back into a state of health. Shouldn't be a problem for you. But again, kidney 1, lymphatic 1, about 3 to 4 drops, maybe 2. Start with 2, 3 times a day, and just clean that lymph system. I go through a little detox, mucus from the snout, so to speak. But then, good. Thank you, Dan. Vernon, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I've written recently, but I've needed some advice. I'm a 22-year-old man, 6'1". All right, I have eczema, faintness, faintness. So faintness would be up here there, Dan. Eczema, wherever that is, you know that's the lymph. Candida, of course, you know you're going to grow that in this whole mix. Slow digestion issues. Now, could be thyroid. Low thyroid slows digestion. You know, that's a slow oxidizer. But at the same time, it could be a little gallbladder, pancreas. You're 22 years old, so you know you got beat up. You're 6'1", so you know your pituitary's involved. So you know you've got congestion up in the head area. Well, that would fit up here in the faintness. I have had EBV for quite a long time, probably about 8 months. I've been 100% raw with high fruit for 2 months, good man, and have done grape fast. Oh, this guy's kicking butt. I usually feel very faint, but yesterday I actually fainted. All right, so here's another thing. Oh, man, he went to the hospital, too. Well, you have to look at a couple things, blood sugar and blood pressure. With the adrenals, your blood sugar could be dumping out, and with your blood pressure, you could be dumping real low. You see, do you have advice on keeping my BP up? That's what I thought. All right, that's your adrenals. So, you get this is an adrenal glandular thing. I really would. When you're that chronic in the adrenals at 22, we're seeing so much chronic adrenals. Sounds like you're kind of in there, man. Well, you have to do licorice root at least, but also I would do like adrenal 160s. Get up there 2-3 times a day or more, because you have to support your adrenals, or you're going to keep going down. And this is the problem we're all facing on. I want you all know this on YouTube. Dan's just showing us a very common problem that we're having, and that is real weak adrenals and therefore bottoming out blood pressures and blood sugars. And sometimes that faintness isn't from the cerebellum, it's from low blood sugar and low blood pressure. So getting kind of used to that sort of thinking, most people are going to have that. High blood sugar and blood pressure is really low blood sugar and blood pressure, and it's just all about kidneys and adrenals. Except for maybe type 1, and that's if it's not a neurological type 1, then we actually have something going on in the pancreas. Should I be getting more sodium? No, but you should be eating more fruits and berries and melons more often. I'd suggest you eat as much as you feel like eating. Walk away. Everybody should pull away from a meal already a little hungry. You should never pull away from a meal stuffed. I hate that, just no matter what it is. And you notice with the raw, you fill up much quicker. You can eat 2 or 3 times the cooked food as you can the raw food, right? Absolutely. You know, I was in a Chinese restaurant with my friends, and I ordered raw chow mein, and I had a huge, huge bowl of raw chow mein, and theirs were all cooked down to hardly nothing. I could only eat 1/4 of mine, and they ate all theirs up. But when it's raw, much more nutrition and power and energy. Don't need to eat as much. But more often would be good. Support those adrenal glands, my man. That's sad. Do you have any advice to keep my blood pressure up? Could I be getting more sodium? I have some celery, and it might make you feel better. Well, you could dump some celery in with your juices. You might have to do something like that for a while until you can get your adrenals to control your sodium and potassium better. This is about your adrenals. You know, and a big part of this, you're reaching up in the head area, no question, though, with the pituitary and stuff, but this has a lot to do with adrenals and kidneys. I'm on parasitum, lymph 1, lymph nodes 1, good. Endocrine glands, stomach and bowel, pancreas, heal all, and 2 glandulars from standard process. I've also gone from 195 pounds to 158. Well, kick up the standard process. If you're on anything for the adrenals, kick it up another notch. And if you might have to add licorice root to your protocol there to keep your adrenals up. And if that isn't doing it, you got to take a pituitary glandular, because that's already an issue here, I see. So you might have to kick up the pituitary a little bit. It could be sitting down on the adrenals, and no matter what you do with the adrenals, they're sitting there because the pituitary is not letting them do it. So it's something to think about. Keep that in the back of your mind there. Having trouble enough causing bloating. Well, again, you're probably malabsorbed a little bit. Remember, this lymph system is systemic, so typical problems that we have is the gut, and then a little liver, hepatic, pancreatic. My blood sugar is also all over the place. I expect that. Adrenals. Last night I eat mostly fruit, but would you suggest staying away from carrots because they are somewhat starchy? Yeah, carrots. Remember, that used to be the day. The day used to be carrot juice fast. Well, let me tell you. You guys did. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Is it off?
No.
Okay.
I'm finishing though.
Can you turn it off?
No, wait. Can't turn it off.
You look so
Hang on.
cute in there like that.
I got next one up.
Yes.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. I got to close house.
Okay, and I got a question for you before you do.
Oh, is that in person or on the phone?
In person.
Oh, good. So just
Yeah.
hang tight. I just want to close up, and then we'll be good.
Have a receipt. Got it.
Sit here if you want. But, all right, so you see the toll bells. She's going to turn that off. They get pretty, they get, you know. You know, these women around here get controlling everything. It's like, oh my God. Come back in a minute. That's what I eat most. Okay, so yeah, carrots. You know, so do this. Do a 10-day carrot fast, a carrot juice fast, and then do a 10-day lemon juice fast. And tell me which one you think stronger lymphatically. Not a difficult guess. Sorry, guys. I want to show you this. Look at this. Are you the lap player? Still an old lap style guitars from North Carolina. Got a heart, man. Love it. Love it. Is that your shop? It looks like North Carolina with a pretty pine. God, I love the Carolinas up there. Ooh, tons of gotu kola. My favorite herb. That's one of my top herbs. Gotu kola, gotu kola. Very good. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Thanks a lot. I recorded a little thank you video for turning me on to the fruits. Oh, I got to see this. I got to see it. All right, well, we'll turn that on and see that. I want to thank you. And I look like a good, happy guy there. Look at those nice guitars. Are those Martins or something? This is something really nice. I'd like to hear you play someday. I'm currently taking tons of gotu kola. I did a great fast with Hill T, and your lymph whipped his butt. You guys are literally pushing the envelope. More about healing spinal cord injuries. I'm in the position that I could help out a lot of folks with spinal cord injuries. I tell you what, same thing, but you hit the braided nerve upper circuit. I also hit the ultimate immune because of the velvet antler, the ginsengs, and we just go down the road of cleaning and strengthening both neurally and everything else. Same thing on a spinal cord injury as anybody else, my friend. Thank you so much. I wanted to turn. I want to see your music. This is a friend here that he's a broken neck. A guy fell on him, fell off a roof and fell on him and broke his neck. Look at that, plated up in his neck. I had some high quads like that, but you're down on the lower C-spine there, it looks like to me. I'm going to have to go over this tomorrow because they're going to kick me out of here. But I've got your stuff, man. I'm looking you over, okay? Just want you to know that. And appreciate this, guys. Thanks for this. Thanks so much, guys. I want to get this out to them. And Danny, hope those eyes did you good. And we'll see you, lovely ones. Thank you so much. You can see it's a little crazy around here sometimes, but thanks you for tuning in. And thank you for learning and growing. This is I'm real proud of every one of you. Hang in there. Sometimes you have to work through some ups and downs. We're all here for each other. Just keep that in mind. The Facebook site, you guys, keep helping them up now. Let's all work together and be a strong group. Love you all. Proud of every one of you, and see you in your dreams. Just be awake and aware. Bye, bye, bye.